Hello, everyone. My name is Teresa Snyder, and I'm here with Dr. Rodney Young as a guest, and also I have a guest co-host today, Jessie Gunn. And I personally work for Interim Hospice. I navigate and help patients find. Oh, look at that. He's signing my check. Dr. Rodney Young is signing my check. And it's for $1 million. And so I help patients navigate, families and patients navigate whenever they are experiencing really severe heart conditions. And we can help on the hospice side. And I also have a counterpart here, Jessie Gunn, who helps on the home health side. So Jessie, introduce yourself, and then we'll introduce Dr. Rodney Young.
Yes, ma'am. So I am Jessie Gunn. I'm the local business development specialist for Interim Home Health. And as Teresa said, we do have some wonderful care kits that are specific to heart health. It is Heart Health Month. And so I'm excited to talk about that today and see what things we can share to educate our community about the Heart Health Month. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's fun to have a co-host, especially somebody that likes to bounce back and forth. So Dr. Rodney Young, a family medicine physician who I've known forever. And I'm going to take him up on golf. Yeah. We're going to go out on the golf course at some point, but not today because it's snowing. So Dr. Rodney Young, what is your thought on heart health?
I favor it. I vote yes for heart health. So I can make all kinds of comments, but if you just look at the statistics, more of us die of heart disease than anything else. And it's not that other disease states aren't important, but it is important that we take time to reflect on heart health. And that's the reason why we have a month like this. I think it's convenient, probably not accidental, that Heart Health Month occurs this time of year when many of us are more mindful about weight control and activity and New Year's resolutions and exercise and all things that contribute importantly to heart health. So we've got a lot of good things to talk about.
Well, and don't forget Valentine's Day.
There you go. It's all about hearts in February.
Yes. Or Singles Awareness Day. Jessie, go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, Dr. Young, so a lot of times I think what happens is misinformation or just not enough education on possibly, what the symptoms are, if it's something that can run in the family, if it's something that people need to look for and ask their specific doctor, if they, have to get a referral from their primary doctor to go see a specialist to learn a little bit more about what that's about for them. What are some things that they need to be looking out for?
So in general, everybody's situation is a little bit differently, and several questions embedded there. First, is it genetic? And the answer is absolutely yes. The tendency toward heart attacks and strokes does tend to run in families. More specifically, a lot of the things that put you at risk for heart attacks and strokes may run in families. So, for example, high cholesterol very oftenly has a strong genetic predetermination to it. We know that many years of high cholesterol levels running through your circulatory system is likely to lead to plaque deposition. So you get these cholesterol plaques that build up at the bottleneck points in our vascular tree. And over time, that builds higher pressure. The vessels themselves become more calcified as we get older. Like, I tell my patients all the time, how fast did you run the 100-yard dash when you were, 16? How fast do you think you could run it when you're 60, right? Everything gets a little worse as you get older. And the same thing happens with our blood vessels. And in fact, in many ways, that happening to our blood vessels helps to determine the symptoms that we experience. So if you have, blood vessels that become stiffer, less compliant, more occluded with cholesterol, it takes more pressure to get the blood to go where it needs to go. That's more work on the heart to supply that pressure. So all of those things are interwoven together, and there's definitely the genetic component that predisposes us.
Wow. I heard a lot of really good stuff in all of that. And it's very helpful even for myself, my family, as we're all aging. And so what are some recommendations for people that have high cholesterol?
Okay, well, the first thing, when you go to the doctor, we all are fear, and we're usually correct, that we're going to walk out with a prescription for something. So medicines obviously are quite helpful, but let's put first things first, that there's a lot that you can do to try to help your cholesterol situation through eating a heart healthy diet and through adopting an active lifestyle. So that's first order business for all of us. And you don't need a doctor, and you don't need, to do those things. There's a wealth of information out there, a lot of it great, some of it not so great. One of the downsides of having information so freely available in society is that anyone can post anything, and enough people will like it that it appears to be a popular concept. That doesn't necessarily make it right or wrong. So look for reliable sources of information when you do that. Things that anyone should have heard of: American College of Cardiology, American Heart Association, a national reputable primary care organization like, in my case, the American Academy of Family Physicians. All of those are great sources of information about how to take care of your cardiovascular health. You can learn about the things that you should be eating and maintaining a healthy weight and ways to become active. I will tell you with an asterisk that these are all cottage industries. There's a lot of people who will tell you all kinds of things related to how you can accomplish this. And all of them are, they're well-intentioned folks, but at its basis, it's not as complicated as we sometimes make it. Striving to achieve and maintain a healthy weight makes a huge difference in the work that's asked of our heart over time. Checking and maintaining a healthy blood pressure, that can be done a lot through lifestyle, through diet, through exercise. But we have a ton of medications we can use to help accomplish that when those are necessary. Knowing what your cholesterol numbers look like, and if you need medicine to help with that, we've got medicines that work exceptionally well and provide significant risk reductions for cardiovascular.
Wow. Well, and this is my love language, being in the move your body and all of that kind of realm of the world. And so I think us all being proactive, that's why I love this conversation. And I always tell people there's enough information out there to tell us how to be rich and thin.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the food supply we have available to us in the United States is so calorie dense and oftentimes so nutrition poor. I'm not going to go out of business by encouraging people to eat right and exercise. But that is the single best thing you can do for your own health in multiple different areas, not just cardiovascular health. But boy, if we could just, find the gusto, the motivation within us to accomplish those things and to succeed in doing it over the long term, we'll have a much longer term to do it over.
Yes, absolutely. So Jessie, I'm going to pitch this back to you. I'm going to play with the screen for a second. So Jessie.
Am I there? I like that you're talking about, that's very simple, very easy. It's free. It's not that difficult to, open the fridge and eat a piece of fruit versus eating, steak or something like that. I think one of the things that has changed just over the last several years is the type of technology that's available to help individuals keep up with that information and track that information. I love that one of the things that we have at the home health side is a heart health kit that we provide to our patients that are specifically with the physician on that. And it comes with really great information. I mean, we have like a workbook that I don't know if you can see it, that the patient can log information in. It's actually
I'm trying to play with the screen. Just get
That's
you.
okay. It comes with a blood pressure monitor. It comes with medication management for the patient. There's all kinds of different things that we can help them with. And I love that the primary part of that is the education, because again, I think just exactly what you said, Dr. Young, there's so much information out there. It's so hard for individuals that aren't in the industry, that aren't in the medical field, to really understand and grasp what it means when you're talking about, well, what does that mean to me genetically? What does it mean to me in my culture when, statistics show that we are more biased for, strokes and heart disease? And what do I need to do to be proactive in order to, take care of myself better for my kids and family in the future? So I appreciate you giving that information.
I think just kind of throwing on the heels of that is, because there's so much information, it can be very overwhelming when you realize that you've gone to the doctor or you've gone to a website and people are telling you, okay, quit eating all the stuff you like to eat, stop smoking even though you love smoking, get off your duff and start exercising. If you'll just, exercise this many minutes, this many times a week, and also we want you to do that and don't do this, it becomes very overwhelming. And really quickly you start to feel like, all right, that's too hard. I can't do it. I guess I'll just die young. And you can say it jokingly, but I have quite a few patients who more or less will tell me, no, I think I'd rather eat what I want and I'll accept an early death. Because it sounds so overwhelming. And I guess lesson number one is you don't have to do everything all at once. For some people, we're asking a very big change, a bunch of them. So start winning the battles you can win. Maybe like you said, it's, choose that piece of fruit instead of that candy bar. If you can't exercise for 30 or 45 minutes more days than not at a heart rate of this number, then get up and walk more. Wear a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or some tracker that lets you know how many steps you're taking in a day. And then, I'd love you to get to 10,000, but if you're currently doing 4,000 and we can get you to 5,000, great. It's a step in the right direction. And over time, you can adopt more of those changes. And the more wins you get along the way, the more likely you are to stick with it.
Absolutely.
So true.
Well, let's close this up with a bow. And I'm going to do the heart.
Pretty bow.
A pretty bow with the heart. So, Dr. Young, I just want to acknowledge you today. And I'm also going to let Jessie do the same. But I want to acknowledge you for your intelligence, your shared information, the fact that you partner with those of us like Jessie and myself who are out in the field, talking to other physicians, talking to patients, and what you bring to the table. So thank you. And thank you for taking time out of your day today. So Jessie, would you also like to wrap it in a bow?
Yes, absolutely. I just want to tell you, I appreciate you coming on here and helping us to educate the community and helping to just reach out and inform people and give them the right information, because it means so much. And there's just not enough of it out there that's true and fact-based. And I love that you're here helping us to educate our community, and I appreciate everything you do.
Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. These are important messages and things we need to spend more time talking about.
Well, I like it. So thank you. And we'll have you sing one of these times.
Yeah, you heard about that.
I heard about the singing.
Is there anything you want to say, Dr. Young? And just in closing, this is it?
No, I mean, you know how it is. Once you get me started talking, it's hard to shut me up. So I think you've got that tidy little message. Eat right, exercise, and if you can't do it forever, just keep trying. Every day is a start to a new diet, right?
And that's the thing. It's the verbiage. It really is. Start small. Find that accountability partner and all that. So
I probably didn't say this enough. If I got 2 minutes, let me throw this one.
Oh, I mean, you do.
We've done a good job with smoking cessation, in terms of getting fewer people to smoke, but that is one of the biggest modifiable risk factors, and it's not easily accomplished. But, if you go to the doctor, if you came to see me and, you had high blood pressure and I put you on a pill and you came back and your blood pressure was still high, I wouldn't go, oh, well, we gave it a shot. Let's just not worry about that. But that's how people handle cigarette smoking so much of the time. I want you to quit. You come back and go, I didn't quit. And you go, well, at least I told them, at least I tried. That is not acceptable. There are a number of different tools in our arsenal to help people along the way. And for some people, quitting smoking will be not that difficult. But for most of them, it'll be pretty difficult. And for some of them, it's going to be darn near impossible. And they really need partners. They need help. They need encouragement. They need to know there are treatments that can help to diminish the craving. We need good strategies to do this, because there are few things that a doctor can do for you that will do more for your health, especially your cardiovascular health over the long run, than to get you to quit smoking or to never take it up in the first place. So I don't want to minimize that message. Very important. A lot of ways to help with that.
That's great.
That is very good. And I think people these days want to take a break and go outside. And so that's how they pick up smoking. And I'm just being brutally honest about that. So.
Well, I mean, boredom, the more time you sit around, especially if you're a smoker, it's a habit. You get that little thing in your hand. It provides a little bit of positive feedback to you for a moment there. Those are habits that are hard to break. And I've said for years, because I've had to struggle with weight myself over the years. And I like good food as much or probably more than most people. And I realize how difficult it is to get that under control and to try to stay ahead of it. And if you take somebody that loves to smoke and tell them, to quit smoking, it's about like telling someone who's very overweight and loves to eat to just quit eating. It's easier said than done. We all have our cross to bear in life. And, for some people, it's very, very difficult to change that ingrained habit and the addictive components of it. There's a lot to the lifestyle issues as well. Learning to accept and engage in and come back for regular exercise is a habit that takes time to learn. It's not easy. So
these are definitely not easy.
All important, but not easy conversations. It is work, and we can't sugarcoat that.
No. And sugar, that's a whole nother topic, and we'll take that up next time. Thank you, Dr. Young. Thank you, Jessie. I appreciate it. And Dr. Young, I'm going to see you here shortly. You guys all have a great day. Share this out with your friends, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
You too.